राधा श्याम। साधु वासवानी सेंटर चेन्नई जे पारां तां सभिनि जो हार्दिक स्वागत आहे। अचो त अॼु जो सत्संग शुरू था कयूं श्रीमद भगवत गीता जे 12 अध्याय सां, जंहिंखां पोइ आरती ऐं वचन थींदा।
श्रीमद् भगवत गीता अध्याय 12 श्लोक 13। श्रीमद् भगवत गीता अध्याय 12 श्लोक 13। वेर भाव खां जो रहे थो परे, ऐं सभिनी जो मित्र। अभिमान ममता बिना खिम्यावान, दयालु रहे जो सदा संतोषी। ऐं सुख में ऐं दुख में आहे जो समान, यतन में रतन जो रहे थो पके निश्चय वारो। मन बुद्धि मुँह में जो अर्पण करे, सोई भक्त में जो प्यारो, सोई भक्त में जो प्यारो। जिजे की न कहीं खान कहीं खेज जारे, ऐं चिंता खुशी का न्यारो। हसद नाहि जंहिंखे न की क्रोध को, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। इच्छा रहित जो पवित्र चतुर जो, ऐं चिंता बिना जो करे थो सुधारो। फल जी इच्छा सब पिछी जो करे, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। बिना हर्ष ऐं द्वेष त्यागे थो जो भलो ऐं बुरो। चिंता रहित जो न उमेदूं अॾे, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। शत्रु मित्र ऐं मान अपमान, थधि गर्मी ऐं सुख दुख सभिनी में समाभाव रखे थो। रहे राज़ी सब ते, निंदा स्तुतिअ में साॻीअ रीत हले थो। धन ज़र मिल्कत बिना, ऐं शांति को अस्थिर चित्त वारो। सब्र में रहे जो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सब्र में रहे जो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। अमृत रूपी ज्ञान अमल में जो आने, सची अश्रद्धा वारो। वछे शरण मुंहिंजी, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। अमृत रूपी ज्ञान अमल में जो आने, सची अश्रद्धा वारो। वछे शरण मुंहिंजी, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। ओम तत्सत। ये श्रीमद् भगवत गीता उपनिषद ब्रह्म विद्या योग शास्त्र जो, श्री कृष्ण संवाद जो भक्ति योग वारो 12 अध्याय पूरो थियो।
ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरि, ओम जय 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 जगदीश हरि। ओम तेरे अंदर प्राणपति, अजी बाण तू महर में मुश्किल मथे सुहवारी। शांति के उभमे सिज चंड तारन, प्रिय प्यो तो चिमती। जय 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 जगदीश हरि, ओम जय 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 जगदीश
Vachan from the sacred Anjali Sangra. Achantya, 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 Jin lai ned vahaya thi. Achantya, Achantya, Jin jo nirmal naam gaya thi. Achantya, Achantya, जिनके दिल में दम दम ध्याया थी. अचिंत्य अचिंत्य जिन बिना नब्यों को चाया थी. Dada Shyam.
Well, it is time for our bhajan session. And who other than Seema to take us along a mustiful evening with her bhajans? Seema, where are you, my dear? There she comes. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Good to see you again.
I know sometimes I feel like I see you all the time, like you're everywhere, and then I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. All good with you?
Couldn't be better.
Wonderful. So let's begin. Let's rock and roll a little bit. Little bit of masti, a little bit of swinging. Never hurts, right?
So thank you, Chennai Center, for inviting me to be a part of the Women's Day special. I take this as a double honor because, as you know, Sadhu Vaswani and Dada did everything to uplift women. And
Yes.
if it hadn't been for them, I don't think I would have lasted in this country for 2 minutes. But anyway, so for today, I've lined up I've planned 3, and the rest we'll just see what Dada wills.
Okay.
But when I think of women, I think of selflessness.
Yeah.
So I've picked a Dada bhajan that is all about selflessness. And I think of beauty.
Mm.
And
Yes.
no one better than Dada to express beauty. I'll make an exception that this song is about Krishna, but it was a personal request from Pradeep Bhai, so I'll do it.
Okay.
And I think of Durga Ma, Shakti.
Yeah.
So
Yes, of course.
we'll go in that sequence if I remember. But for now, I know what I'm starting with, selflessness.
Wonderful. Let's do this. And yes, I don't think I would exist without him either. Forget about in the country, anywhere. Existence would have ceased. So yes,
If
thank you,
there was
Dada.
any man I ever met who truly respected women with
Yeah.
every fiber of his being, with his every word,
Yes.
with
Yes.
his every action, it was Dada J.P. Vaswani.
Yes. 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 And
This
he
one,
uplifted us in every aspect, in every
Mira
way.
movement,
Yeah. Yeah.
education. We have a teacher training college. We have nursing. We have all sorts of things to uplift women.
Yes.
Radha Sham,
Yes.
that's all I
Dada
can say.
Shyam. Yes. All right, let's do this.
एक तोलाए 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 एक तोलाए उकीर में मीठी गीत गाया एक तोलाए उकीर में मीठी गीत गाया एक तोलाए 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 हंजू बीठी हार्या तोलाए 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 दियड़ा महाबार्या एक तोलाए 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 एक तोलाए 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 एक तोलाए 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 वाटुन तेवा छाया अची अजबी ठेस नदीअ जे किनारे, अची अजबी ठेस नदीअ जे किनारे, बीठी तो पुकारिया लहरुनि ॾे निहारे, 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 एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, वाटुनि ते वाझाया। तिखियूं तेज लगन पियूं अॼु हित हवाऊं, तिखियूं तेज लगन पियूं अॼु हित हवाऊं, तो बिन सजना न ॿियो कोई चाहियूं, 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 एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, वाटुनि ते वाझाया। ॾिस न डिंगायूं छॾिजे कीन छोरी, ॾिस न डिंगायूं छॾिजे कीन छोरी, कदमनि कबूल ज तूं अंजलि समूरी, कदमनि कबूल ज तूं अंजलि समूरी, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, वाटुनि ते वाझाया। एक तोलाए उकीर में वेठी गीत गाया, एक तोलाए उकीर में वेठी गीत गाया, एक तोलाए 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 तोलाए, हंजू वेठी हारिया, तोलाए 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 तोलाए, हंजू वेठी हार, अची रात तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, ॾीअड़ा मां ॿारिया, रात तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, ॾीअड़ा मां ॿारिया, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, एक तोलाए तोलाए तोलाए, वाटुनि ते वाझाया। ॾिस
Lovely.
न डिंगायूं छॾिजे
Mm.
कीन छोरी. Apart from God, I think there's only a woman who's capable of that. And that woman is a mother.
Yeah.
Kiran?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
You're
Yep. Very
included.
true. Very
My
true.
mother included. She's such a dai chokri. Okay.
Well, I always said that, my spiritual mother and my biological mother live in Pune. So I was always very fortunate that I saw both my moms in each trip. What else can one ask for? And Dada did love us like a mother does, right? The purest form of love there is.
Absolutely. So I'll move on
So,
to beauty. Sorry.
so this is for all the moms, I'm guessing. The next one.
No, that was the previous one. I thought of mothers when I thought Disina
Okay.
Dingayu. Disina
Ha.
Dingayu Chadijan Kina
Kina,
Chori. I
kina.
think only God is capable of that and mother. Khalas.
Yes, that is true.
God and
Agreed,
mother.
agreed. Yes, 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 yes.
The next one
Certainly.
is the other embodiment of woman, beauty. And this is, I know, Kiran, one of your favorites also, and one of my favorites also. And beauty, a song for Krishna and
Yes.
request of Pradeep. Bye.
Okay. Wonderful.
हुस्न तुहिंजे हुस्न वारा कयो मूंखे हैरान हुस्न तुहिंजे हुस्न वारा कयो मूंखे हैरान ओ हुस्न तुहिंजे हुस्न वारा कयो मूंखे हैरान बुधा मुरली परेखा मनड़ो थिए मस्तान हुस्न तुहिंजे हुस्न वारा कयो मूंखे हैरान कनीज जे कखन में छो न कन्हैया तूं अची खोले दर दिल जो पंहिंजो रंग छो न रची खोले दर दिल जो पंहिंजो रंग छो न रची हुस्न तुहिंजे हुस्न वारा कयो मूंखे हैरान आजा आजा कन्हैया आजा 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 दादा आजा 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 बबल दिल पे पुकारे अचण लाइ अंजलि ॾीअड़ा वेठी मारे अचण लाइ अंजलि ॾीअड़ा वेठी मारे हुस्न तुहिंजे हुस्न वारा कयो मूंखे हैरान Thy beauty, a beautiful one, is a wonder I can't express. I hear the song of the flute and my mind I can't suppress. Why wilt thou not enter the cottage of this poor one? Open the door of the heart, and thy work is already done. Do thou come, Krishna, do thou come. My heart singeth in a tune that is low, in the hope that thou wilt come. Anjali keeps the lamp aglow. Do thou come, Krishna, do thou come. My heart singeth in a tune that is low, in the hope that thou wilt come. Anjali keeps the lamp aglow. Anjali keeps the lamp aglow. Anjali keeps the lamp aglow.
not just listening to you, but watching you sing. Mm, it's just something else. You get so lost in the zone. It is wonderful. Wonderful. God bless, man.
At this point, I'd like to mention that Dada and Big Dada, even when they write, and it's in a lot of bhajans as well, a lot of people, when they write through devotion, they always use the feminine form.
Yeah, yeah,
Vethi geet gaya, hanju
yeah.
vethi harya, because
Harya.
they know no one knows devotion higher than a woman's devotion. So, in honor of Women's Day, let's celebrate the selflessness, the devotion, the beauty, and now for the Shakti.
Yes.
Durgi Nandini, Anand Rupini, Jag Jeevani, Manmohini Ma. Durgi Nandini, Anand Rupini, Jag Jeevani, Manmohini Ma. Kali Kapalini, Jagadodharini, Niranjani, Narayani Ma. Devi O, 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 Devi O. Durgi Nandini, Anand Rupini, Jag Jeevani, Manmohini Ma. Kali Kapalini, Jagadodharini, Niranjani, Narayani Ma. Devi O, 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 Devi O. त्रिभुवन पोषिणी शंकर तोषिणी जनमन रंजनी जय जय माँ. त्रिभुवन पोषिणी शंकर तोषिणी जनमन रंजनी जय जय माँ. काली कपालिनी जगदोधारिणी निरंजनी नारायणी मा. दुर्गे नंदिनी आनंद रूपिणी जग जीवनी मनमोहिनी मा. काली कपालिनी
जगदोधारिणी निरञ्जनी नारायणी मा देव्यो 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 देव्यो
Lovely. Another one of my favorites, actually.
Every time I sing a Devi song, I'm reminded of my auntie in Hong Kong. She met me when I was 3. She's
Okay.
actually my Chachi's cousin, and she's like my masi, my mom, my everything. And when I was 3 and she was in Nigeria, she used to call me the little devil. So the little devil, yeah. She say pachana. And then when over the years, over my 14 years in Hong Kong, like I used to do Lakshmi Puja in her house every Diwali. She used to always tell me, you decorate my house, you do it. So I would decorate, we'd do Aarti together, Puja together every year. And one Diwali, she was wishing me happy Diwali, my little devil. I said, Nimo, drop the L and recognize the Devi in this devil. So now she only calls me her Devi. So every time I sing this song, I think of her. The
Only you
Devi
can
is-
say such things. Only you.
So
Thankfully,
I don't know
only
if
you.
I've left because I'm gone now. So please tell me.
Well, we still have another 10 to 12 minutes. So,
What? Okay, hang on. Kiran, regale the audience. Give me a second.
listen, with you on the screen, I don't think anyone needs any entertainment till you figure out what you're going to
Find the
do.
next song, yaar.
No, it's okay. At this rate, I think you and I look more like fixtures of the Chennai Center. That are just, they change the robes each time, but we've become. I was just thinking of that. I said, Seema and Kiran are seen so often. People are going to say, Chennai Center, change one of them.
I think we've
They will not
recognized that
change.
अगर मैं आएगा तो बस किरण के साथ आएगा.
They're going to want to change from me very soon, Seema. You at least entertain them with your bhajans. With me, they're going to say, let's just something
You
needs to
entertain
change.
with your shairi and your poetry, madam. Don't underestimate.
Are you ready with the next bhajan? Because I think people must be wondering, what is this? Is a satsang? Why are these two crazy ones chattering away? You should sing one of your favorite ones, anything to do with Krishna, because he is the true embodiment of beauty, if you ask me. Who is the most beautiful
I was
one?
thinking more like the Shabad, Mata Ki Asis, because that's women's.
Why not?
kind of thing. You okay with
It
that?
doesn't matter. You think God really doesn't care because he is an embodiment of everything that exists, no? Every form, everything that is beautiful is him. I mean, look at him as the father or the mother. You think he cares? I don't think he does. He doesn't. But Dada used to tell us that one of his favorite relationships that he had with God was that of a mother and child. So, And the first time I heard him say that was when he said that when a child goes to a father and says, I'm in trouble, and the father says, I told you not to do this, now learn your lesson. And the child calls out to the mother, and the mother may, one time she'll say, because the father said it, she'll go, yes, learn your lesson. The second time the child will call out, mother, help me. The mother will say, sabak sikhane tu. The third time she'll say, put the darn lesson aside. I'll save my child now. And the next time we'll think about the lesson, because she can't help it. To her, her child is more important. So he said he loved that relationship of a mother and child.
And you'd know best. You're a mother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, let's not let I will make sure my husband doesn't listen to this session, because he will know exactly what I've been up to. My kids.
I think I'm ready.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Let's do this.
निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, सदा भजो जगदीश पूता माता की आसीस, माता की आसीस पूता माता की आसीस, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, सदा भजो जगदीश पूता माता की आसीस, माता की आसीस पूता माता की आसीस। जिस सिमरत सब किल विखदासी, पितर होए उधारो, सो हर हर तुम सद ही जापो, जाका अंत न पावो, जाका अंत न पावो पूता माता की आसीस, माता की आसीस पूता माता की आसीस, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, सदा भजो जगदीश पूता माता की आसीस। सतगुरु तुमको होए दियाला, संत संग तेरी प्रीत, सतगुरु तुमको होए दियाला, संत संग तेरी प्रीत, कापेड़ पत परमेश्वर राखी, भोजन कीर्तन नीत, भोजन कीर्तन नीत पूता माता की आसीस, माता की आसीस पूता माता की आसीस, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर, सदा भजो जगदीश पूता माता की आशीष माता की आशीष पूता माता की आशीष अमृत पीवो सदा चिर जीवो हर सिमरत अनंत अनंता अमृत पीवो सदा चिर जीवो हर सिमरत अनंत अनंता रंग तमासा पूर्ण आशा कभी न व्यापे चिंता कभी न व्यापे चिंता पूता माता की आशीष माता की आशीष पूता माता की आशीष भवर तुम्हारा एह मन हो वो हर चरणा हो कोला भवर तुम्हारा एह मन हो वो हर चरणा हो कोला नानक दास पुन संग लपटायो जो बूंदे चात्रिक मोला नानक दास पुन संग लपटायो जो बूंदे चात्रिक मोला जो बूंदे चात्रिक मोला पूता माता की आशीष माता की आशीष पूता माता की आशीष निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर निमक न बिसरो तुमको हर हर सदा बजो जगदीश पूता माता की आशीष माता की आशीष पूता माता की आशीष माता की आशीष पूता माता की आशीष
Whoops, my mic was off again. Sorry. Lovely Shabad. Very, very beautiful one. You mentioned poetry a couple of minutes back, and I remembered I had written something on women. And I, okay. मैं औरत हूँ. That's the title. मायके वाले कहते हैं कि बेटी पराई होती है. ससुराल वाले कहते हैं ये पराए घर से आई है. न इसकी न उसकी, किसी और की नहीं. मैं अपनी जागीर हूँ. मैं औरत हूँ. बहते हुए आंसुओं को अपने आंचल से पोंछती हूँ और जरूरत पड़ने पर तुम्हारी ढाल भी बन सकती हूँ. जिंदगी की जंग में मैं दुर्गा, मैं काली हूँ और अपने घर की मैं अन्नपूर्णा हूँ. मुझे कमजोर समझ की भूल ना करना, तुम्हारी ताकत बन सकती हूँ. विश्वास करके देख लो, तुम्हारा जीवन संवार सकती हूँ. मैं एक औरत हूँ, किसी और की नहीं. मैं अपनी जागीर हूँ. मैं औरत हूँ.
You make me feel better about being a woman with that poem.
I think, you know what, honestly speaking, I think we should be. I'm very grateful that I'm a woman. I wouldn't want it any other way, because I
Absolutely.
think it's an honor, a privilege, and a blessing to be a woman.
But with a poem like that, it ups it a bit.
Okay.
That
All
sounds
right.
quite
If you say
good.
so, well, I'll
Right.
take that. I will take that. And I think I just stole a few minutes of your time. And I
I can do
think
a short kirtan if there's time. Otherwise, khalas. Check with boss.
like a very short one, because we
Very
wouldn't want
short.
to end with the poem. We want to end with the kirtan. Let's do it.
Can la, can. Okay. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. I invite everyone who's watching to sing along, close your eyes, and just follow the simple words for the next few minutes. We're here to sing, to meditate. I hope this takes you there. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Lakshmi Annapurne Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Girija Shankari Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Uma Parvati Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Sundari Saraswati Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Shakti Kundalini Namo Namah. Kali Durge 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 Namo Namah. Shakti Kundalini Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Uma Parvati Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. Kali Durge Namo Namah. To the female tattva, which is within man and woman and all being, to the female tattva, Namo Namah. Dada Sham, everyone.
Dada
Dada
Sham.
Sham.
Thank you again, Seema, for such a lovely and soulful session. Love seeing you and hope to see you soon again. Thank you. Dada Shah. प्यारी संगत हाणे असांजो ही वुमेन्स डे स्पेशल हली रहियो आहे. It's a Women's Day special today. Um, I think every program that we have is a very special one, so I can't say there's just one particular one that's special. But today we have a lovely guest with us. She's an author, Vinita Deshmukhji. I had no idea who she is, and I spoke to her earlier this afternoon and was so pleasantly surprised by her personality. So bubbly. And there are some people, we are all alive. I know that. And it might sound silly that I say this, but she came across as such a lively person and felt so alive and wonderful. And I don't want to give you her credentials because she is so much more than that. And I'm not going to take any more of our precious time. And I would like to invite Vinita ji to please join us.
Thank you so much.
Deshmukhji.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I feel humbled. I've just heard both of you. You all are such beautiful women from your heart and in your mind and brain. And I'm like feeling like a misfit out here. It was
No,
just wonderful to
please.
hear both of you. Thank you.
No, Seema brings out a lot of mischief in me also. I am generally a little more sober then, but every time she comes on screen, I don't know what happens to me. And I was just thinking, I said, I become very silly when I see her. I'm like a kid.
It was
I love
beautiful.
I love her so, and she knows that.
Mm.
Vinita ji, I was very, very happy this afternoon when I spoke to you, and I am so looking forward to our little chat today.
Yeah.
And again, I am not going to bring up credentials because you're so much more than that. So much more. It was just so lovely. Our chat was such a nice one. And I want you to tell us about. I know you mentioned you only heard about Dada and the mission when you were at the Ferguson College in Pune.
Yes.
So tell us about your journey from then on.
Yeah, so when I had my childhood in Orissa, and then I came to Pune to study in
Right.
Ferguson College. And like I told you, like I was with my friends on Lakshmi Road, and like suddenly see a sea of white. There was something like a Ratha Yatra or something going on. So I was like
Yeah.
so curious to know. And then that's when I came to know about Sadhu Vaswani mission. I came to know about Dada Vaswani, and a little bit I read about it through a couple of small books. And then I found that it like kind of linked to my childhood. In my
Ah,
childhood, my grandmother, she gave me this booklet on Manache Shlok. That is,
okay.
training your mind, strengthening your mind, which has been written by Sant Ramdas. Okay.
Ah,
And so every evening, I used to just read it out of passion because it was like a poetry, and I just loved
ah,
poetry. And then when I read Dada's books and his philosophy, I just found that they were interlinked, because even for
ah,
Dada, it was like the moral values, life's values, humility,
yes.
honesty, devotion, dedication. Life is to just give. That's what he
Yeah,
believed in.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
love
yeah.
is something that just connects you with everything and gives you all that you want to conquer. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a beautiful kind of a web link, which I got,
yeah,
offline web link. And I just have tremendous regards for Dada, because it is very difficult to be humble all the time, be
yeah,
so
yeah,
calm,
yeah,
and
yeah.
say the right thing. and and,
Mm.
and he was, fortunately or unfortunately, he was in the Kali Yuga. And in Kali
Yeah,
Yuga, simple things don't matter to people. The more
that's true.
complicated they are, the more intellectual it kind of becomes. But his
Yeah,
simple things, his
yeah,
little simple lines was something
yeah,
that
yeah.
also connected with me, because I grew up reading the quotable quotes from Reader's Digest. And I
Ah,
really think that
yes.
whatever journalism, whatever I have done, at the heart of it, you need
Yeah,
to be a good human being.
I agree. I agree. I think that was the
Mhm.
most important to that also. Was it was
Absolutely.
to be a good human being more than
Yeah.
anything else. That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
That is very true.
There's
Uh,
a saying that it's not what you do or what you achieve, but it is
huh.
how you make people feel that lasts
Yeah,
forever. And
that
Dada
is very
always
true.
made everybody feel special. I mean, he had thousands of followers, but that
Yeah.
his one smile when you entered the room, and like
Huh.
the first, can I go on, or you would like to ask me a
No, no,
question?
please. No, no, I please.
Yeah.
I
So,
want you to continue.
yeah, so my first meeting with Dada was really very, amused me, because
Huh.
when I entered his room, I like bent down to do namaskar, and he did the same to me, and I was so startled that there are many spiritual leaders that I come across, thanks to my journalism, and I always find this attitude of being on the throne, or something that the person knows so much that you feel belittled, but Dada
Yeah,
was totally different, and
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was the most precious thing about him. His accessibility, simplicity, and his aura. I mean, not that he was just simple and anybody could crowd him. He was simple, and his aura just kept you where you should be.
Yeah, yeah.
Close, and yet with so much dignity.
Yeah, yeah. There was a class to him. There was
Yeah.
simplicity, humility, but it was very classy and
Yes,
very,
absolutely.
very. There was an elegance to
And
it.
pure. It was so pure.
Pure,
Yes.
yes, pure. And his
Yes.
smile radiated. I mean, it
Absolutely.
would
Yes.
anywhere he went, the place became so. Um, and when he would come home, you forget whatever issues there are. Everybody has issues, and
Yes.
sometimes we take the little things and they become a bigger issue for us. But the moment he entered the room, he entered your home, and suddenly it was like, "नहीं, क्या बात है? कुछ भी तो नहीं है." It's all good.
Yes. And that's what he had told us, that, the thing of nothingness. He said even a
Yeah,
zero is like too big, it occupies too much space. So it's just that dot, you got to be
yeah.
as nothingness as a dot. That's what he told me in one of the interviews on his 90th birthday.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you interviewed him several times, I believe, on a regular basis.
Yes, I mean, on an annual basis since the
Huh.
mid 1990s, and plus, Krishna used to give me some assignments to interview him, give little ideas for his books. So,
Yeah.
I like interacted and enjoyed it. Yeah.
And he was always, it's so light-hearted. There was no
Yes,
seriousness to Dada. There was so
absolutely. And
much humor and so much
true.
wit.
Yeah, and like I told you in the afternoon, that some of the things that he told you,
Ha.
his little statements would like last forever. For
Yes.
example, when my husband passed away 5 years back, and after that I
Hanji.
went with my daughter and my grandchildren to go and meet him, and
Ha.
he just first wanted to hear the whole story, and
Right.
he just intently heard everything that I had to say, and then to that,
Ji.
he just said one simple thing. He said, death has a habit of making you feel guilty, so
Ah.
you should not feel guilty about anything, because today is the only day, and like
Mm. Mm.
the end is there for everybody, that we are in the same passage, but you should not
Yeah.
hold on to things like, if you had not gone there, maybe it wouldn't have happened. So this sentence was so important for me, that I have also told some of my friends who lost their loved ones, that
Yeah.
death has a habit to make you feel guilty. I think that's a profound statement, although
Very
it is made
profound.
up of a few words.
Yeah. Yeah. It is very true. I mean, that guilt that we carry, I think that it's also sometimes called a survivor's guilt sometimes for some people in
Yes.
certain situations. That's
Yes.
your husband, I believe.
That's right, Vishwas. Yeah, and he used to love Vishwas, because Vishwas was also he was a very good human being, and so
Ha.
open-hearted, and he did not have uh, any disposition of controlling anybody. So
Mm.
Dada found so much of purity in him, that there
Yes.
used to be times when I used to go to do his interviews, and if Vishwas didn't come, he would be like, where's Vishwas? As if like he is more important than me, And I used to see Vishwas' eyes fill tears when he used to hear his talk, So I think there was like something very, a very divine connection between them, and it was really lovely.
And how's your the relationship of your children with Dada?
Yeah, so they were not really they're directly connected. But
Hanji.
yeah, but both my children, they are extremely spiritual in their heart. They
Ha.
wouldn't be kind of going through any spiritual books, but there you can
Right,
see my
right,
daughter
right.
with her children, and
Very lovely.
she has immense faith, and though not in connect, with Dada as such, physically, or visiting the
Right, 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 right.
mission. Yeah, yeah.
See, sometimes I think, and I've seen this with my own children, you can't put kids in a room or in a
Yeah.
box as such, because to them spirituality is so much more. And we've also been very fortunate that Dada's presence brought out the spirituality in our children, not religion, but spirituality, which is so
Yeah,
much higher. Because there is
true.
so much that happens with religion that just doesn't do it. It turns young people away. And Dada had that. He was more spiritual than anything.
Yeah, and in fact, in one of
He
the true.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So in one of the interviews, he told me, and that
Huh.
was like more than 10 years back. He told me that the new age is going to come, and
Huh.
it is the youngsters who are born now and
Huh.
hereafter that are going to change the world and make it into a new age, because the old
Okay.
order is getting extremely corrupt. So whenever I talk to him,
Oh,
I just found there was like a hope. Otherwise, sorry, I declined this
that's
one.
okay. No worries.
Otherwise,
That's okay.
sorry. Yeah. So, otherwise, especially in journalism, you always write about things that are bad around the society, how the governance is bad, the politicians are bad. So, you're continuously writing out the negativity of in the society,
Yes,
in the
yes,
public,
yes, yes.
at large. But here, when Dada told me that the new age is coming, and for that, the old age has to get corroded and the corrupt has to go, and that is going to be like a turmoil, after which we'll see
Oh,
a new
wow.
age. So, yeah, and I think so many years later, we are seeing it in many ways. It is not just
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
corrupt are going or something, but you see the meatless day, which
yeah,
Sadhu
yeah,
Vaswani started and he devotedly carried on. Now, in
yeah.
the entire world, the best sports people in the world are going vegetarian, and
Yes,
that is
yes,
just one part of it. The other part about giving respect to the birds and the animals who cannot talk for themselves. You can see
yes.
that kind of a compassion, where even the Hindi movies have to first write in their line, in their credit line, that they have not harmed the birds and the animals. So all that he said in a very simple way is turning
Yeah.
around and is actually coming true. So I quite believe that many people, including me, we sometimes get worried ki, what is this kind of world that our children are going to grow up with? The
Yes, yes,
environmental
yes.
disaster, the religious hatred, and the things like that. But I just believe that things are turning around. And
Yeah.
I think that is a great contribution, by
Yes.
Dada, who kept telling you the same things. He kept telling you
Yes.
the simple things. I'm sorry, I've called the urban clap that tomorrow is going on calling me. Okay.
It's okay.
So,
It's
mm,
okay.
yeah. So, in very simple words, Dada did not talk about spirituality as going and praying to God. I remember
Yes.
like one of my friend telling me that if you have your duties that you have to do, send your child to school, help your husband in making the daba, and he has to go for work, please don't come to my satsang. He's like, you do your duty first, and that is spirituality. You
Yeah.
show kindness. He used to say that, I remember in one of the talks he said that people get irritated with people around them in the house,
Ah.
so
Ah.
you have to break from that, because you have to give every human being dignity and love. So
Yes.
in
That's very
practice,
true.
Yeah, in practice it looks so tough, but you actually listen to him, not hear him only. But if you listen to
Yes.
him, you are actually changing your whole life into positivity and love.
I'm sorry, my headphones are battery just died on me. No, but
No
you're right.
problem.
He had it. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, the way it goes is when I went to sleep, life was beauty. When I woke up, life was duty. Those are the words
Yeah.
I remember, and that was always the most important to him, that we fulfilled our duties first, because
Yes.
duty was worship.
Absolutely. And also his, when he was, whether he was 85, 86, 87, 90, 92, the one question I would always ask is that, so how are you feeling today? You become a year older. And every time he would give the same answer, no, I feel like a 19, I feel like a 18, I don't know what is age, that kind of thing. And that also kind of, puts you, it is a very big message, a social message for
Yeah.
all of us, even this one line, because we always think of, oh, we are above 40, now we can't do this, we are above 50, we can't do this. Continuously we are
Yes.
negatively thinking about how we are getting decapacitated with every decade, which actually does
Yes.
happen, physically. But if you do the right thing, you
Yeah.
have your life, rightly pursued, then you actually can, to a great extent, remain young in your mind and heart, and then the body also obeys them.
Yes, that is very true. And he was very well disciplined also. That was one thing that
Yeah, he
I
was
don't
well
know.
disciplined. Yeah, sorry, but the remarkable part about Dada is that he was not a born sannyasin or a spiritual
Yeah,
leader.
yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah,
first like doing his school studies like everybody did, and did his graduation, and then became the principal of the most
yeah,
prestigious and well acclaimed educational institution, which is St. Mira's College, and
yeah.
which he and his guru also, Sadhu Vaswani, used to say that if you educate a woman, you are educating the entire family. So,
Yes, yes,
yeah, so therefore he was actually a man of the world. Materialistically, he became the principal, brought the education to
yeah,
great heights. But it's along that same parallel line, he was a devotee of his uncle, and he had
yes.
such, his faith was
Reverence.
so, reverence and
Yes.
faith and devotion was so immense that when he was asked to be the torchbearer after Sadhu Vaswani, it just came
Ah,
naturally to him. He was not in a duvidha that, oh, from an academician, he's going to lead a spiritual organization which is renowned all over the world. That was his,
yes, yes,
uh,
yes,
focus, his complete transparency, his dedication, and just dropping one and seeking something higher. That is,
yeah,
what
yeah.
is a very fascinating journey. And his compassion, whether it is feeding the
Yes,
poor, the hospital that he built, the
yeah,
Inlax hospital today, it has got a good reputation, because that is one of the few
yes,
hospitals where people say that you're not ripped off, is the amount of
yes,
work that
yes,
is
yes,
done to
yes,
the poor.
yes,
Then even in natural
yes.
disasters, be it earthquakes, be it tsunami, be it anything, you will see that the Sadhu Vaswani mission is ahead. And the
Always
other
there.
thing about
Yes,
Dada, these days, like if you want to be a leader, you have to be strong, and you have to have a powerful voice, and you have to like show that you can talk and win people. No, with his calm words, he had gathered and united the entire Sindhi community across the world, which I
yeah.
think is just magnificent. It is not an easy job to conquer with love, calmness, kindness, and compassion, but he did it.
That's so true. I actually never looked at it that way, but you're so right. He united, and you know what? It's just so difficult to be with just so many different people from different walks of life with such different temperaments and mentality and points of view. But somehow he managed to keep everything so calm and
Yes.
so easy and so smooth. It is very fascinating.
Yes. And that is why, I always have. Did I go off?
I think
Yeah.
your video is off.
I don't know whether
Maybe
video.
accidentally your
Ah,
camera.
yes.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
No, and I have to mention Krishna here because I've seen
Yeah,
her, in the last 25, 30 years, and her amazing dedication to Dada was, it
yeah,
was just wonderful, So that wall around him was also so pure. It was so divine, pure, filled with devotion and dedication that
yeah,
Dada just like was kept blossom was just a blossoming flower, never to
huh,
wither and never to
yeah,
die. He was like
yeah,
always like so fresh because of even Krishna
yeah,
and
yeah.
her team around him.
She has dedicated her life to Dada, not just the mission,
Yes,
but to Dada himself. And as I mentioned to you earlier today, that I have watched Didi Krishna also over the years. And
yeah,
the transformation, I think, if you observe closely, has been tremendous.
yes.
But then how can you not? पारस के साथ रहकर तो लोहा भी सोना बन जाता है ना,
Absolutely.
है ना?
Yes,
तो पारस
yes,
के साथ उन्होंने अपना जीवन बिताया, तो उसका
yeah,
असर कुछ तो होना था ना। सूरज के सामने तो सब कुछ चमकने लगता है ना?
absolutely. Yes, and the
So
other
she
thing
has
also,
definitely, हाँ जी,
yes,
हाँ जी,
very true, very true. No, the other thing also what I find in him that he was a visionary. He was not an astrologer
yes,
predicting something, but he was a visionary because in one of the interviews which I did, he told me that
जी,
regionalism is becoming a bit too much in our country. And most of the
mm,
people, when I
mm,
ask them, like, who are you or whatever, they will answer, yeah, I'm a Maharashtrian, or I'm a Bihari, or I am a Oriya. But he said that I think the Sindhi community is one community which says that I'm an Indian first because they are spread around all over the world.
all over
And
the
so
world,
he did mention that, but he did mention at that time that this regionalism is going to eat up the unity of a country. Hatred is going
yes,
to eat up the unity of a country. So he was not doing any bombastic statement when he said that. He could see it, he could feel it because
yeah,
his
yeah,
heart was very tender and pure. And when you have a
yeah,
tender heart and a pure heart, you can actually see this. You feel pained. And even that
yeah,
pain, he would say it in such kindness and with such, humble words that you
yeah,
really had to, put your head down and think. And another thing about Dada is that how whoever you may be, it could be even Amir Khan, who was, a guest often there, or it could be
हाँ
a
जी,
leading politician, it could be Dalai Lama, it could be anybody, you and me. But
yeah,
when you came in front of him, you automatically disrobed everything, or
yeah,
didn't have a designation up your sleeve. You just disrobed
yeah,
all that
yeah,
you were putting on for the materialistic world, and you
yeah,
were, so that
yeah,
is why
very true.
yeah, so that is I found was really something, because like I told
And
you that I have interviewed other spiritual leaders, and I just find this market, such a market difference, that I don't know that
yeah,
it will ever be repeated again.
दादा
कभी
इज
था
दादा,
नहीं कभी,
आई थिंक
like
दैट, हाँ हाँ, उनके जैसा कोई था नहीं, है नहीं, होगा नहीं.
होगा ही नहीं. Yes.
There's some
You
molds that
complete.
God makes and then breaks them, that's it. Only
Yes,
one of the kind is created, and that's it.
absolutely.
And yes,
Yes.
you're right, because I think the reason everyone had to drop their inhibition, like everyone dropped, not had to, but everyone dropped their inhibitions before him, is
Yeah.
because he didn't have that ego about him. He didn't look at himself as someone great.
Yes.
When we used to have our sadhana camps, and they would put a sheet
Mhm.
on the floor where they would want Dada to come and sit. This was before his fall in 2010. He would
Right.
never sit on that sheet. He would go sit next to the person somewhere there. I mean, he never sat.
Mhm.
And we would tell
Yes.
him, like he would never go and sit on the stage, as he always said, "I'm but a pilgrim." He
Absolutely.
had
Yeah.
no he didn't have that ego about him. And when you go in
Yes.
front of someone who doesn't have any airs about themselves, you can't afford to. I mean, how can you even tell
Yeah.
someone who is so down to earth that I'm someone great? How can you even do that?
Yeah. And even he was extremely sensitive about the
Yeah,
social order.
yeah, yeah.
It's not that,
Yes,
okay, like
yes.
I'm in this mission and, we can just behave anyhow, we can do anyhow. Krishna would always tell me, Dada won't like if this is done. Dada doesn't like anything to go wrong. Dada wants to be just right. He wouldn't like to have something that the media will talk about in a negative manner. He was very, very sensitive about the media presence, about what goes into the media, that all the good contributions from the Sadhu Vaswani mission should go to him. And the donations that came to him, rather,
Yeah.
to the Sadhu Vaswani mission, but they all came because he was the epicenter of it all. Because anybody would
Hmm.
truly believe that when it went to the Sadhu Vaswani mission, the development
Yeah.
projects, the donations, the charity projects, all are going to see the light of the day, the way Dada has envisioned it. And so there was
Yes.
tremendous respect among individuals, NGOs,
Yes.
and even politicians, if they wanted to help out Sadhu Vaswani mission, there was immense respect. So that is
Yes.
something,
Yes.
something that he created, and he lifted
Yeah.
up the Sadhu Aswani mission, which is not like, you wouldn't say it's like very old. It is like as old as our independence, and so it is
Yeah.
remarkable
Mm.
that we hear about other spiritual organizations, and less said the better about some of them. Many are doing good work, but Dada was
Yes.
alert. That Dada was alert, and he would not stand any nonsense. That's
Yeah,
it.
the thing also, I remember when donations would come, he would ask the person donating it, where would you like the money to go? And a
Mhm.
note was made for so and so purpose. And he would say, please make a note of it and make sure that the funds went exactly where the person wants to send them. And this is
Yes.
very true that I don't think he would ever wanted to tarnish the reputation of his master.
Yeah,
And that is what mattered the most to him. To him, his master and Sri Krishna were the most his beloved ones.
I
And
know.
he did
And
whatever it took to keep the name and the reputation. And like you said, there was such transparency that there was
yes,
really nothing hidden. I mean, it is what it is.
absolutely. And he
Mm.
spoke about what Jesus Christ would say. So there was no religion barrier. He believed that
Yes,
there is
yes,
one
yes, yes,
God.
yes,
That also is
yes,
visionary, because today we are finding the
yes,
need for that. We need to have one God and not just fight over
yeah,
religions.
yeah,
That's one. Second thing is that he worked hard for the mission. He was not just sitting
yes,
on
he
his chair,
did.
because he is like the epicenter of them all. He traveled widely. He traveled all over the
Yes,
world. He traveled often,
yes.
and he traveled when he was not well. And I think
I was
once,
going to
even,
say,
yes, please go ahead, more.
no, no, no. I mean, in spite of all the physical pains, where you and I, as all of us would say, okay, you know what, forget it. What's the point?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
will it make a difference? But he never let his health come in the way. And when asked, or if someone would say, Dada, you've suffered, and his first response would be, I have not suffered. It was
yes, I know.
physical pain was never a problem for him. It was never a suffering for him. It was the prasad from the hands of God. So how can
Yes.
it be suffering? No, that is very true. He never let that come in the way.
Yeah, and that's also another learning lesson, for all of us. Because if we have a little headache, and wow, we are off the day, and we, like lie down, and this, he just believed in just carrying on. He believed, oh, the
Yeah.
doctors are there, they would do his surgery. If I'm not mistaken, he was taken on a stretcher also in one of the international flights or something. I
When he
remember,
had
but
a
I
fall
don't.
in 2010 from
Right,
Panama
right.
to Chicago, he was airlifted. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he never stopped his work. And when people saw
Yeah.
him, they attended his satsangs all over the world. They had a immediate connection with him, and
Yes.
that is how he made Sadhu Vaswani Mission one of the steering spiritual organizations of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is so much good work that happens through the mission. Even during
Yes.
COVID, I know food was sent out into the remote areas where no help was reaching. And
Yeah.
Didi Krishna always says that, everything happens so beautifully as though we don't even need to think about it. And that has already taken care of it for us.
Right. Yes.
So his
Yeah. It's
guidance,
very.
his love for all of us has definitely brought the Sadhu Vaswani mission up front.
Yes.
And it is because it's a very like you said, transparent
Yeah.
organization where it is what it is. There are no hidden agendas there.
Yes.
Vinita ji,
And
it has been lovely talking to you. Please go ahead and we will conclude with you. You were
no,
going to say
yeah, no,
something.
no. I just want to say that I salute the Sindhi community also, which had got literally shifted out from their base, in the partition, and have made a name for
Yes.
themselves through their hard work, perseverance, tenacity, and devotion all over the world. And I
Yes.
think that Sadhu Vaswani and Dada Vaswani played a great role in keeping
Yes,
that
yes.
spirit alive, kicking, and positive. And I just want to end by saying that Dada was a great leader of women empowerment. So I'm really honored and blessed and absolutely humbled that you have invited me for this very special Women's Day. Thank you very much and love you.
No, really, it was wonderful speaking to you, Vinita ji. Unfortunately, time is always there's a constraint with time. As much as we would love to hear more from you, maybe one of these days we'll have you back and you can tell us a little bit more about your experiences with Dada and about life in general, about what you've seen. But
Sure.
heartfelt gratitude to you for joining us, for taking the time to be
Thank
with us
you.
this evening, and it was lovely chatting with you.
Same
Dada
here.
Shyam.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Dada Shyam.
That is-
It is time to now move on with the program. Achyut Asanje Mithe Dada Jo Upadesh Thabudu.
Hare Krishna Dada Shyam. Hare Krishna Dada Shyam.
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 The woman soul shall lead us upward on. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the beloved Master, my revered Gurudeva, whose name my lips are not worthy to lisp. Sadhu Vaswani, he said to us again and again that the future belongs to women. He said to us again and again
that it is women who are going to build a new civilization, a civilization of simplicity, of sympathy, of service. Man has had his chance. Man has bungled. Man has blundered. Man has built up a civilization which is rooted in wars and violence, in hatred and strife. Period is coming now when this word man will be replaced by woman. Today we think of God more of a father than as a mother. And yet there are so many Indian saints. They always speak of God as the mother, the divine mother. I approach God again and again as Ma, mother, Ammi, and I feel so comforted. As I said, the time is coming when this word man will be replaced by woman. And it is as it should be. Man does not include woman, but the word woman, woman includes man. Female includes male. She includes he. How unfair it is that we, by saying man, we cover the entire humanity. Woman, Sadhu Vaswani said, has the Shakti to rebuild the shattered world in the strength of her intuitions, her purity, her simplicity, her spiritual aspirations, her sympathy, her spirit of silent service and sacrifice. When we come to think of it, from the point of view of the soul, there is no essential difference between man and woman. The soul is one. The soul that is in woman is the very soul that is in man. There is the one universal soul. It is in all of us. So from the point of view of the soul, there is no essential difference between man and woman. And yet, women are endowed with certain qualities which do not come very easily to man. To take one example, the quality of compassion. Women are so compassionate. It comes naturally to them to be compassionate, to be sympathetic. The word for compassion in our ancient language, the Sanskrit language, the word for compassion, as you all know, is daya. And daya is regarded as a feminine word. It is not a masculine word, it's a feminine word. There is no masculine equivalent for it in the entire language. You may search the entire dictionary through. You will not be able to find a masculine word for compassion, for daya. Daya is essentially, compassion is essentially a feminine quality. As I said, it is so natural for women to be compassionate, to be forgiving, to be loving, to be serving. There are so many qualities that are peculiar to woman. This happens on the plane of manifestation. Otherwise, from the point of view of the soul, both man and woman are the same. They have the same universal soul. But on the plane of manifestation, we find that there are so many qualities in women which men lack.
प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम प्रभु जी, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। प्रभु जी मेरा नाम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी ही कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी ही कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। तकलीफ और तकलीफ नूर एक तू ही मददगार। उठाए हैं अंजलि के जन्मों के सारे भार। करता नहीं मैं कुछ भी, सब काम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम हो दादा, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। दादा तेरी ही कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। सब काम हो रहा है। सब काम हो रहा है। दादा श्याम।
Thank you, Seema, for the lovely bhajans as always. Thank you, Vinita ji, for joining us and sharing such lovely moments with us. A happy Women's Day in advance to all the lovely ladies, all the women out there, and to the female soul in every one of us. Do join us again next week. We will look forward to seeing you then. And as always, thank you for your patience. Dada Sham.